Hello people, it is I, Tony, and welcome back to another episode of TTBurger Game Reviews, and today is another multi-part review. I know it's been some time since I've done a multi-part review here, but I'm back and I got another multi-part review lined up for you all. This is episode 142, part 1 of 2. And today we have a rare gem here made by the company Namco, and those of you who've been following my channel stuff know that I am a huge fan of the video game company Namco. It was my favorite game company back in the day and stuff, and they made a lot of great franchises like mainly Tekken, Soul Blade, Soul Calibur and stuff, and Ridge Racer, Time Crisis, Starblade, Point Blank, and more and more. But there was one franchise that I never really touched upon, and a lot of people don't seem to really remember it or don't even know about it because it wasn't as popular here as it was in Japan and stuff. And this was requested me to review by my buddy Razorblade1812, who's also a big fan of this series, just like me. So credit goes to you, Razorblade1812, and I hope you like what you see here. And that series we're talking about today is the Klonoa series. Now, those of you probably wondering, who is Klonoa? Klonoa is basically known as the Dream Traveler, and he pretty much travels dreams and stuff like that to get rid of the bad parts of the dream to make it good and stuff. It's kind of hard for me to explain a lot of detailed stuff, but that's just basically the gist of it. Klonoa started out as popularity on the PlayStation and PlayStation 2, but then it also ranged from like other platforms like the Game Boy Advance and the Nintendo Wii and more. But for today's episode, it'll be a two-parter, like I said, and we're going to be looking at the first two original Klonoa games that were released on the PlayStation and the PlayStation 2. For part 1, we're going to be looking at Klonoa, Door to Phantomile, and part 2, we're going to look at Klonoa 2, Lunatea's Veil. We've got a lot to talk about here, so let's get started with Klonoa, Door to Phantomile, released in 1997. And let's just get started here, and as we get started here, I should mention that the Klonoa Door to Phantomile is a 2.5D side-scroller, where it's a side-scroller where you are on a 3D scrolling background and stuff, and that makes it 2.5D. It's a fantastic game, one of the best side-scrollers I've ever played. It does have a couple quirky problems with it and stuff, but it's not gonna be much where it's gonna be frustrating where I say don't buy the game, because this game is awesome. And it's a great way to just start off with getting to know Klonoa and stuff too, and let's get started here. The story of Klonoa Door to Phantomile takes place in the fictional world called Phantomile, and Klonoa and his sidekick Hupo see something crash, and they go investigate. Only to find that these two crazy people named Gadius and Joka kidnapped the diva Phantomile called Lefise and steal her pendant, and they take her hostage, and now it's up for Klonoa and Hupo to get her back and defeat Gadius and Joka once and for all. And that's pretty much the gist of the story. It's not the deepest story ever, but as you get further in the game, you actually see on how well the story is made, and it works really well in its own way, definitely, and it definitely works there. And as you can see here, like we have the opening cutscene as well, which pretty much sets the tone for it as well, and that's really cool there and stuff. I should mention though that I'll mention this later on with the negative stuff. So I'll just get started there. Let me continue. I mean, for the game's presentation, the game's graphics look fantastic. Like, they still look great to this day. Sure, they may not be as good as like a PS4 game or something like that, but for on its own demerit and stuff, they've aged really well. Like, it's just that they got like the cartoony anime dream style, and it can't get any better than that. Like, the character models look fantastic, especially the Klonoa and Hupo and Joka and Gadius models. They look fantastic, and also the enemy models, while they do tend to repeat at times, I don't have a problem with the enemy models, and the pre-rendered cutscenes look nice too, and they definitely look like some of the best you see in the PlayStation, and also the frame rate is very smooth throughout the whole game. There's no dip in the frame rate whatsoever, so those of you guys who don't like frame rate problems, then you won't have to worry here, because the frame rate in this game is fantastic. Now for the sound for the most part is good. The voice acting is all done in the fictional Phantomile language, and it actually works really well. Although the sound quality sounds like it was recorded on a potato, like you can hear like reverb effects, and it sounds kind of muffled at times too because of the quality of the sound.
Gargle Leafy. Boa, jerk.
Where'd you get that, Daddy? Davy?
Gargalot. Ever gargles mutant watch. Teleculario. Vas buque ahorita watch. Key joke. Thank you.
Red? Normal?
Hot. Boa. Leafy blood Leo. Jerk with blood filled.
Red?
But it's nothing major we're gonna take that many points off. But I'm just saying there, it can be a pain. It can be annoying if you guys don't like hearing reverb feedback back noise and stuff when it comes to voice acting. Then yeah, it's gonna be a problem. But I understood it because like with technology back how it was back then, you couldn't ask for like crystal clear surround sound or any of that stuff. The music is great. It like each level has like its own type of music and stuff, and it fits Klonoa really well. And I'm just saying there, like the music is awesome, definitely. Like a lot of good stuff about the sound, just like the muffled voice acting and stuff. Just kind of could have been better, but I'm understanding of it because it's a PS1 game, so that's why. But now let's get into the meat of this review, the gameplay. And gameplay is awesome, but not without a couple flaws there that I have with it. Like I mentioned before, this is a 2.5D, I mean, side scroller where you're pretty much scrolling on a 3D background in like with 2D character models and stuff. Your basic goal is just to reach to end of the level by rescuing a lot of the creatures who are held captive and like collecting jewels and stuff like that to get a higher score. Defeating enemies as you like inflate them, and then you can do like this double jump where you can like kill other enemies or kill the enemy with it by like popping them and stuff. It's really cool. And of course, like Klonoa can hover and stuff too. And of course, and like it's just you. But it's basically what your typical side scroller is like. Except for something about it, but like with this one, the way the game is presented makes it very, very enjoyable and one of the best in my opinion. I mean, like how challenging it is. It's not too difficult and stuff like that. It's not too easy. The difficulty is just right. So you'll have no problems with like getting through this game. And of course, like the more, of course, like another side scrollers, the more gems you collect, and the more creatures you rescue, the higher your score will be. And if you collect them all, like your only reward, I will admit, is different ending music when you complete each stage and stuff, which is a little disappointment, but it's not the worst thing ever. I mean, like, it could be worse where you get nothing at all. So yeah, just saying there. And of course, there's a lot of obstacles like you must avoid, like avoiding spike balls and stuff like that. And of course, the platforming elements are there. Like it pretty much tests how good you are with side scrollers, and it does its job definitely. Now, and also mentioned the boss fights are intense as well. So just getting like that, the boss fights are awesome. The bosses themselves look really cool. But now I gotta get to the negatives here. First off, the game is not very long. There's only like six worlds you go do, and each of them have 2 stages. And depending on how good you are, you can blow through this game in about 5 hours or so. Maybe less if you're like very well advanced with these type of games. But that's just me though. And also like this isn't really a problem of the game. It's like it's just those of you who are trying to find this game, be warned, this game is very pricey. It can range from like $80 to about over $100 too. So if you're going to buy this game, I recommend you just be warned, you'll be spending a lot of money. I mean, it's not really a complaint I have with the game itself. It's just that with inflation and everything going on, so like that, the game's price had to go up and stuff. So just saying there, if you're looking to look for this game, be warned, you'll be spending quite a bit of money on it. So I'm just saying there. But aside from the problems I have with Klonoa Door to Phantomile, it's still a fantastic game that you shouldn't pass up. I mean, if you like side scrollers, you like side scrollers with cool looking characters, stuff like that, and stuff, and with deep storyline stuff, look no further. Klonoa Door to Phantomile is the way to go for a side scroller platformer on the PlayStation. Due to the complaints I have with Klonoa Door to Phantomile, with the muffled sound and the length of the game and stuff, I will be taking some points off. I won't be taking any points off for the price of the game, but because that's not the problem with the game itself. I was just saying that be warned, you'll be spending a lot of money on it, but that's not really a problem with the game itself. Is what I'm trying to say. But due to the complaints I have with Klonoa Door to Phantomile, the score I'll be giving it is a 9 out of 10. It's the best score I can give it, definitely. And that's pretty much it for episode 142, part 1 of 2. Next up, we're going to go dive into the PlayStation 2 era of Klonoa as we look at Klonoa 2, Lunatea's Veil. How does this game fare to its predecessor? Find out next. But all I gotta say is, it's Tony, peace out, and see you all in episode 142, part 2 of 2.